How's it going, everybody? I know. Party on top, business on the bottom. We're ready to rock and roll. Starting some new projects. Buchan's 266 is done. It is probably in the mail by the time you guys see this. I'm going to let him finish the break-in on that. It's 90% broken in. I still have not turned it up. His credentials speak for themselves, friends, so why not let him finish the job? He's excited to get that saw and run it. I built that saw to cut at a high speed with massive amounts of torque, so we'll see. I want him to be able to bury a 32-inch bar with that and have it make magic. Okay, we got the 590 on the bench here. I want to show you guys something. You guys are always curious. Money doesn't grow on trees, and you got to do with the bars that you have, right? I mean, let's be honest here, friends. Work with what you got. Here, I'm going to bring you guys in here. This is a spacer. Sorry, this is a large mount Husqvarna bar on a small mount saw. This is a piece of sheet metal. I actually got this from Bill Block. Thank you, Billy Boy. So I'm just showing you guys. I've had this bar for 3 years. This bar was on my 562 for most of that time. A lot of use on it. Paint's coming off here and there. It's been in a vise a few times. This is one of those Oregon Versacuts. It's not a pro bar. The tip is not removable. It has an aluminum core. I've had good service out of it. I wish they made these longer because I would buy them. I really would. I don't do a lot of bore cutting, so I don't blow my tips off, you know. And I'm not a logger, so this bar has lasted me for years. It doesn't owe me a penny. Okay, we're just gonna cinch this down. I'm gonna give this chain a little scuff, and let's run this thing today. So this saw has an external chain adjuster, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Beauty. I don't even think this saw is broken in, friends. There we go. Get rid of the slack. I just like to push the tip. Push the tip up. So what are we going to do with this saw? Well, we're going to port it, of course. A lot of interest. I'm going to spend some time with this saw and run it. We are going to take it apart. There we go. I'm going to put a short bar on the saw on a wall. I'm going to run this saw. There's a lot of you guys that have these, okay? I want to bring you guys in closer here. I want to talk to you. Here, let's put you up here. There we go. Okay, this is a common saw. Not everybody's a logger. I'm not a logger, friends. I'm really not. I want to run saws that you guys have, okay? Now, I typically don't run smaller saws like this, but, you know, there's so many of you guys that have these saws and you want to port them, so I'm going to spend some time with this saw. We're going to dig deep into it. I'm going to show you guys the porting. I'm going to give you guys the timing numbers that I use. I already have a plan to get this saw rocking and rolling. I'm going to show you guys what we're doing. But I want to spend some time with this saw. I've never run one of these. This is a super common saw here. It's not the heaviest saw. So let's see. I'm going to run this thing today. I'm going to get some test logs. We're going to do a stock cut with this power saw, and then I'm going to change the ignition and the carburetor on video for you guys, and we'll go from there. Okay, so let's get rocking and rolling. I'm going to bring you guys back out. I'm just going to scuff this chain up, and I'll hit you guys back up when I have more to report. Okay, one thing that's nice about a 20-inch bar is you can sharpen it real fast. This thing's not terrible, but nothing's worse than going to film and you got a crappy chain on your power saw. I just have it stuck in my head, friends. The throw away your file guides. I don't know why. I think that's hilarious. Fucking, you're a madman. Anyway, friends, we're gonna go clean up some brush in the back 40. I have a tree line with a path through it. What's growing there? I believe they're willows. I have some willows. Some of you guys mentioned diamond maples. I think that's actually, or diamond willows. I think that's actually what's growing on the tree line. Thank you. I looked it up. I think you guys were right. Thank you. We're gonna go take the dirty distal and we're gonna go run this saw. I want to try it out. I haven't run it. I've had it for months. Caleb and Taylor have been very patient, and let's go run this saw. Let's do typical farm work with it, and then let's have a little chat about what I think about this saw, and then we can talk about, okay, I've run the saw. It does this, this, and this. What would I like it to do? So let's go do that today in today's video. Let's hit the rakers on this thing. I get lots of emails. This is a newer Husqvarna. It's a file guide, which I don't use, but the hardwood, softwood, soft steel too. I wish they'd harden metal properly. Okay, so see, it goes, see that? So this is softwood. Look. Let's see if we can get you the shot of that. See how it's sticking up? Okay. If I don't do this, this chain's going to cut really slow. Not because it's not sharp, because the tooth is not being exposed to enough wood. And what I've learned, when I first got serious about my sharpening, I thought, I'll just drop the rakers. And you know what I've learned? Low rakers are a sign, for me anyways, that the chain isn't sharp. A sharp chain should not need low rakers. This is just factory spec. I like this because it puts them on an angle. They're real smooth. Anyhow, friends, I just wanted to show you that. Okay, it's time. Let's give this Echo a little run here. I don't even think this thing's had a full tank of fuel through it, so let's change that. I'm gonna let you guys know what I think of this saw. I'm going to use it for what it's intended for. This is a farm and ranch saw, is how this would be marketed. And, oh my, there we go. So let's use it as intended. I just got to grab some bar oil here. Okay, we're going to take that out. That fell last fall. Typical cottonwoods, they just break. And they were planted here. Nobody plants them anymore, but they were planted here. Whew. Got some schmutz in my hat here. They were planted here quite commonly 70, 80 years ago. I'm going to set you guys up over there and let's take care of that tree. This is typical farm and ranch work here, so let's do it up. Okay, I changed my mind. Let's cut into this thing. I'll get you guys in close here. We got to set this carburetor up. We'll cut that other one with another saw. The light's a little better in here. Typical of cottonwoods, this is what they do. They lean, like all these have. All these are cottonwoods right here. They lean and they fall. They get pretty tall here for here, but not, they'll hit about 70, 80 feet and then they just break off. I'm gonna bring you guys in nice and close. This has a limited ignition, so it's gonna sound like it's 4-stroking even when it's too lean. Let's see what it does. I pre-warmed the saw. I'll let you guys know what I think of this thing. Okay, I'm gonna get you guys in real close here. Doesn't sound too bad. This has a semi-fixed high jet, meaning you really, from what I've been told, you really can't lean these out too much. Advertised RPM is 13.5. Guys are telling me they're not seeing that out of these. Okay, I'm gonna let it 4-stroke, even though that's the ignition cutting in. I'm gonna hit it to the wood. It should clean up. Then I'm gonna pull it up and listen for it to 4-stroke again instantly, okay? Do you guys hear that? It's too rich. Listen, it's 4-stroking in the cut with load on it. Okay, let's lean it out a bit. I'm going to take the screwdriver. The high jet's the one farthest away from the engine. If I can get it in there. I'm having a hard time getting my screwdriver on this high jet and this saw. Okay, hold on here, folks. Just give me a second. I'll get this thing ready to rock and roll for you. Okay, folks, that was a little bit of a bobble on my part. I thought the high jet was completely closed. It wasn't. The jets are still really tight on this, so listen to it now. It cleans up nice. RPM's decent. I might even go and grab my tack and see what kind of RPMs we're experiencing with this. Since we're building this together, why not? I'll see if my tack will pick up the signal on this and see what kind of RPMs we get. But listen to this thing now. It's cleaned up. grab my tack. Okay, I have the digital tachometer. I'm going to show you guys the max RPMs of this saw stock out of the box. The spec says 13.5. Interesting, eh? Here, I'm going to set you guys up here. We'll just run it through the butt of this log and see what kind of RPMs we can get. A little bit of a slower video, but I really want you guys to see. Okay friends, I hope you got something out of that. It's hard to hold. I need a bigger piece of wood, but this is what we have here today. So idle's at 2650 give or take, and max RPM is 12.2 to 12.5. Now, I know it's published that 13.5 is the max revs. I cannot get this thing lean enough to even come close to that. So, this thing probably has a semi-fixed high jet. From what I've been told, it does. That's what I'm experiencing. It pulls good in the wood. It starts and runs nice. Anti-vibe's pretty good. It's just really rich. So, I mean, for the average guy though, this thing would be fine. Let's, I'm going to finish blocking up this tree that's behind us here, and then I'll give you my thoughts on this. I do run a 562. I wouldn't say these two compete. The 620 competes with the 562, but it is a new 60cc power saw. This thing definitely feels like more of a torque saw. The 562 is a screamer, but for the price of this, so far, it's a nice saw. It's typical Echo quality, and I'm having fun with it. We'll see what it does when it's ported. Let's block this tree up here and run this thing a bit. Excuse me. Okay, folks. Well, my first time at the helm of a Echo CS-670. Sorry, it's hot out today. It's beautiful. Listen to that. Love it. My first thoughts on this saw. Let's see how it restarts. This saw starts and idles like a dream. I didn't touch the load yet. It's got decent throttle response for what it is. It tunes well. It oils like crazy. Like, look at the oil here. Bring you guys over. I just want to show you guys what I think if you're thinking of buying one of these. Just slippery. That's me spilling. I do that professionally. Okay. It oils good. I used about a half a tank to do that tree, so it's fairly fuel efficient, whether that matters to you or not. It's quiet. That wasn't a particularly big tree. I did put it in a little bit bigger wood after I filmed that tree. It pulls pretty good. It's definitely a torque saw. It's lacking in the RPM department. But I mean, all in all, friends, this is a nice saw. I might buy one of these just to have variety. Weight wise, it's definitely heavier than a Pro 60cc saw. But I mean, for the average guy, you might run your saw, you know, a homeowner or something, maybe you're clearing a fence line, you might run your saw for an hour or two. It's not bad. It's not the heaviest saw I've ever run. Yeah, all in all, I'm happy that I got to try this thing. I think it's cool that Caleb and Taylor sent me this saw. Anyhow, friends, the next time we run this, I'm going to probably do it on a sawbuck. We'll cut stock, and then we'll change the carb, and then we'll change the ignition and see what kind of performance gains the average guy can bolt onto this saw. And then we'll go from there. We'll open it up, we'll port it, and see what kind of oomph we can get out of this saw. Anyhow, friends, as always, thanks for watching. Take her easy. Later. Thanks for coming over and hanging out.